Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of Readings and Thoughts from the Scriptures. This is Pastor Howie, and we are in 2 Corinthians, and we started 2 Corinthians chapter 8 in the last video. We'll finish that and go into chapter 9. So we'll be looking at for 2 Corinthians chapter 8 verses 16 through chapter 9 verse 5. And so this is still on the topic of the Apostle Paul writing to the Corinthians to encourage them in this collection that's being taken up, not only in Corinth, but in Macedonia and other places, to send back to Jerusalem to help the poor Christians who are suffering there because of economic disturbances and the persecution they're facing from the unbelieving, unconverted Jews. So Titus here is sent to receive the collection. And so Paul says this: "Thanks be to God who put into the heart of Titus the same concern I have for you. For Titus not only welcomed our appeal, but he is coming to you with much enthusiasm and on his own initiative. And we are sending along with him the brother who is praised by all the churches for his service to the gospel." Who that is, Paul doesn't identify. What is more, he was chosen by the churches to accompany us as we carry the offering which we administer in order to honor the Lord himself and to show our eagerness to help. We want to avoid any criticism of the way we administer this liberal gift, for we are taking pains to do what is right, not only in the eyes of the Lord, but also in the eyes of men. So Paul is once again endorsing integrity and professing integrity and desiring that 100% of this offering that's being taken up is going to get to the people that need that gift from this offering. So many offerings taken up today in, that are advertised on television or through social media. So many of them have to take some of the money off the top to administer and support the ministry that's collecting the money. But in this one, this is going from the pockets of people who give to the pockets of people who need, 100%. Verse 22, "In addition, we are sending with them our brother who has often proved to us in many ways that he is zealous, and now even more so because of his great confidence in you." Again, he doesn't identify that person. "As for Titus, he is my partner and co-worker among you." So Titus and Timothy both got personal letters from the Apostle Paul because they were associates and they were doing ministry along with the Apostle Paul. Also, Philemon gets a letter from Paul, and that's a very personal and one-to-one letter, not so much regarding a partner in ministry, but certainly a person who Paul honors and appreciates and is, in fact, in a ministry within his own, perhaps, house church. "As for Titus, he is my partner and co-worker among you. As for our brothers, they are representatives of the churches and an honor to Christ." So they're messengers. "Therefore, show these men the proof of your love and the reason for our pride in you, so that the churches themselves can see it and be benefited from it." And then this whole conversation goes into chapter 9. Again, it bridges that artificial gap that was placed by men, dividing our Bibles up into chapters and verses. "There is no need for me to write to you about this service to the Lord's people." Chapter 9, verse 1. "For I know your eagerness to help, and I have been boasting about it to the Macedonians, telling them that since last year you in Achaia which is another geopolitical area that doesn't exist anymore, you and Achaia were ready to give, and your enthusiasm has stirred most of them to action. So a little friendly and encouraging competition between these two regions as far as the churches in the two regions are participating in this collection for the saints, as it were, in Jerusalem. There's nothing wrong with that. But I am sending the brothers in order that our boasting about you in this matter should not prove hollow, he says in verse 3, but that you may be ready, as I said you would be. So he's just reminding them that they had made a commitment, and now the brothers are coming to gather the collection, then transport it back to Jerusalem. For if any Macedonians come with me and find you unprepared, we, not to say anything about you, would be ashamed of having been so confident. Embarrassed is probably a better word, not necessarily ashamed. So I thought it necessary to urge the brothers to visit you in advance and finish the arrangements for the generous gift you had promised. Then it will be ready as a generous gift, not as one grudgingly given. In other words, he doesn't want to embarrass the people in Corinth if they're not ready. He wants to give them the announcement that Titus and these other messengers are on their way, and so let this get wrapped up and sent off as they had made a commitment to do. So that's what I have for you. And I think it's important for us in churches where we do take up offerings seasonally for missions, whether it's denominational mission support or whether it's a special mission, that we follow the same example, that we give generously, liberally, and that we make a commitment that we don't have to be reminded over and over about. So that's what I leave you with for this video, and until next time, may God bless your liberal and generous hearts in the support of his missions around the world. Amen, and see you next time.